In Boston, our teams win championships.
At Fenway Park, for 95 years, the Red Sox are world champions. The Boston Celtics are on top of the basketball world once again, the 2008 NBA champions.
He has Wilson, quick throw, and it's good. Intercepted around the Butler has it at the one.
And now, the Sports Museum has rallied all our teams and all our athletes to help stop bullying in our schools and in our community.
Hi, I'm Mike.
I'm Eleni.
And I'm Sammy.
We have joined the Boston vs. Bullies team because we want to help stop bullying.
Because bullying is never acceptable.
When bullying happens, it hurts everyone involved.
But here's the good news.
Working together, we can help stop bullying in our schools and in our community.
As an ordinary kid, you can make a huge difference.
Your actions can help prevent and stop bullying.
And this Boston vs. Bullies program will tell you how.
Providing you with the specific things you can do when caught up in these situations.
Now let's meet the rest of our Boston vs. Bullies team.
Hi, I'm Patrick Chung from the New England Patriots.
Hi, I'm Christy Mewis from the Boston Breakers.
Christy Mewis scores the game winner, and the Breakers beat Portland.
Hi, I'm Evan Turner of the Boston Celtics.
Turner, Evan. Whoa!
Hi, I'm Sydney Ross of the BAA High Performance Track Team.
Sydney Ross of Doom.
Hi, I'm Martin Bowes with the Boston Cannons.
Hi, my name's Andrew Farrell from the New England Revolution.
Hi, I'm Allie Raisman, Olympic gold medalist.
Hi, I'm Torrey Krug of the Boston Bruins.
The Serpentine Route wins it!
Hi, I'm Mookie Betts of the Boston Red Sox.
Betts lines it into left center. From third comes Bogarts, and the Red Sox walk off with a 6-5 win.
In this program, our Boston vs. Bullies All-Stars will share their stories and tell you how you can stand strong against bullying.
Because we want you on our team.
Boston vs. Bullies. Let's win this one together.
Bullying is not a game. It's a serious problem. But what exactly is bullying? Bullying is different from conflicts, fights, or disagreements. Bullying is emotional or physical abuse that has 3 defining characteristics. Number 1.
It's on purpose.
Number 2.
It happens over and over again.
And number 3.
It's about the abuse of power.
Once again, what are the 3 defining characteristics of bullying?
It's on purpose.
It happens over and over again.
It's about the abuse of power.
When bullying does happen, it can take many different forms. There is physical bullying, like pushing, punching, beating someone up.
There is verbal bullying, like teasing, name-calling, threatening. In addition to physical and verbal bullying, there is also relational bullying. Relational bullying can involve ignoring, excluding, or getting the rest of the group to turn against someone else.
Lastly, there's cyberbullying. Cyberbullying involves sending or posting hurtful, embarrassing, threatening text messages using the internet, cell phones, smartphones, and other digital communication devices.
No matter what form it takes, physical, verbal, relational, or cyber, bullying needs to stop. Right here, right now. Let's take a look at the kids who are doing the bullying. And let's start with one simple word. If you are bullying someone, stop.
If I had to give a bully a message, just stop, man. I mean, it's a lot better to be nice and have a bunch of friends than to have no one like you at all.
Once again, if you are bullying,
stop right now.
Why do kids bully? It might be because they want to show that they have power.
Maybe if they're not necessarily feeling that good about themselves, they want to kind of, burn someone else's candle out just to make theirs, shine brighter.
I think the reason bullies do what they do is just they want power, to see who they can walk over, see who they can get stuff from, see who's not going to say anything back or do anything back.
But bullying actually shows weakness and a lack of self-confidence.
It's sort of a sign of weakness, right? That they need to pick on someone else to make themselves feel good.
For some reason, maybe you're not confident themselves, and the way they can gain confidence is by putting other kids down.
I think a lot of times, kids bully is because, they're not very confident in themselves and they have to take out their frustrations on other people.
You may be bullying because you think that it would make you look cool and more popular. That's wrong. Bullying doesn't make you cool, and it won't make you popular.
Bullying is definitely not a pathway to popularity. And if it is, if you become a bad name.
Eventually, that's exactly what happens to bullies. They don't have any friends and they don't have anybody to talk to. When they're mad, they just take their problems out on people and just makes other kids not like them even more. If you can just be nice and try to help people instead of hurt people, then you have a lot more friends.
Sometimes you make a fool out of yourself trying to make a fool out of someone else.
Another reason you might be bullying, you might be having problems at home or in school, and you think that by taking it out on others, it'll make you feel better.
I think sometimes kids feel the need to bully and be mean to other people because maybe their home life isn't as great and they don't feel like they have any say at home.
Well, everyone has issues. Everyone has issues in different parts of their life, in their family, in their friends, in their schoolwork. So it's just about kind of knowing who you are and finding yourself and realizing what your problems are and what your insecurities are. And that's truly how to deal with it. It's not to go to other people and push them down.
Bullying doesn't solve your problems. It makes them worse.
I think, we never know what's going on in someone else's life, and sometimes bullies, have things going on at home that, they feel like if they can take out their frustration on other people, then it's a way to solve their own problems, and, that's not the case, and a lot of times it ends up making them feel even worse.
If you are bullying, think about why you're doing this, and then find other ways to deal with your problems.
First of all, stop it and sit back and wonder. And I say, think to yourself, why are you bullying somebody? And I think you can find an answer that way. And it's because maybe you're not fitting in, or you want to fit in, or you feel like the only way to fit in is to be a bully. And I mean, that's not the way.
Like, this isn't making you any cooler. What is really going on with you? And do you need help? Do you want help? Do you want more friends? Do you want more attention? Like, what is it? What is the deeper rooted issue?
If you continue to bully, you need to realize that you are causing an enormous amount of damage and hurt.
A lot of times the bully doesn't realize how much they're upsetting the person. They just think that it's maybe a 30-second comment that they just move on with their day, but they don't understand the impact that it actually has on the kids. Kind of like a knife in the heart, it stays with you forever. You never really forget about it.
Put yourself in the shoes of the kids you are bullying. How do you think they feel? How would you feel?
It's not nice. Imagine if someone was saying to you, if you were getting bullied or bothered like this every day. It's just not nice to do, and just think about what you say before you say it.
When you get older, you wish you can go back to school again, and you don't. When you think about yourself, you don't want to be older and say, man, I wish I didn't bully that guy.
But it's not too late. If you are bullying someone, you can make it right. Here's what you can do. 1, stop your bullying. 2, apologize to the kids you have been bullied. Saying sorry will go a long way. And 3, talk with an adult and ask for help on how to deal with your problems. In many ways, bullying is all about power. If you are one of the kids doing the bullying, you are abusing your power. So how can you use your power to help and not hurt?
If you're being a bully, it's not cool at all, man. You're hurting little kids' feelings, and you're not getting many friends. If you want friends, you want people to like you, then stop bullying and instead help them out.
You'll be surprised at how good it will make you feel.
I think that you feel much more powerful and much more empowered if you're nice and kind to people. I personally feel that way. If you go out of your way to make someone's day, it's the best feeling in the world.
And you'll be even more surprised at how others will start viewing you.
I feel once when you get into a room, the room should brighten up. People shouldn't be scared when you come in the room, and that was kind of my goal in school. Is when I got to the room, I want everybody to be happy and say, hey, not shy away.
When you get respect from the teachers or you get respect from your peers is when you're the guy that's always smiling, always bringing people up, the person that You know, people like to be around.
So one last time, if you are bullying,
stop right now.
And find other, better ways to use your power. You'll be glad you did.
Now let's talk about the kids who are getting bullied. And it happens to more kids than you think.
If you are getting bullied, there are some important things you should know. To begin with, you are not alone. It's not your fault, and it's important you realize that you haven't done anything wrong.
And if you're being bullied, it's not your fault, man. I mean, it's just a bully bullying somebody. It's not your fault at all. You just keep being nice, keep being kind to people, and you'll make a lot of friends.
If you're getting bullied, I think it's really important to make sure that you don't get down on yourself, because it's really not your fault.
No one deserves to be bullied.
Just because you don't know who you are yet or you have different interests, you don't deserve to be bullied. No one deserves to be made fun of for who they are, because you can't change that. That's how you're born, and you have to embrace it and come to love it.
Even though you're not at fault, there's no question that bullying hurts a lot.
It felt awful. I mean, I know they were just teasing me because it was some sort of insecurity that they had on their own. So I kind of just shook it off and didn't make it a big deal, but obviously it did bother me. I think it bothers everyone.
When you get bullied, sometimes it can feel awful. It can sort of consume your entire mind state. It can consume your life in some cases.
The effects of bullying can be damaging and sometimes severe.
If you ever experience any of this, please tell a parent, teacher, or trusted adult immediately. They will help you.
You shouldn't keep it bottled up. That will only make things worse.
You definitely shouldn't just sit there and take it, because like we said, it'll eat at you. And
what a lot of kids do, and what I've done in the past is bottle it up, right? Sort of let it happen, let it get to you, and then not really talk to anyone about it, right? That is an option, but it's the one that you don't want to take.
If you are getting bullied, you shouldn't fight back with fists or words. That may provoke the bully and lead to more violence.
I always say 2 wrongs don't make a right, so even if someone is being really mean to you, I don't think that you should be mean back.
Violence is not going to be the answer, right? That's just going to promote more violence.
Fighting back isn't the answer, but there are many other ways to stop bullying. If you feel comfortable, you can respond to the bully calmly, with self-confidence and assertiveness, and the bully will often back down.
Go up, stand up for yourself, not being mean, but talk to the person that's bullying you and tell them that you don't appreciate what they're doing, they're not being nice, it's really bothering you, and that you'd like them to stop.
To let that person know that you don't appreciate how they're treating you, and you're not going to stand for it.
It's important to stand up for yourself. You have the power to stand strong.
Even though it's hard, as a group of people, bullying you and stuff, it never looks bad if you stand up for yourself. You always, just say, hey, can you please stop? I think when someone's bullying you and you stand up for yourself, it makes the bully look 10 times worse than you could ever look.
I honestly think that's a quicker way to kind of stop that bullying is stand up to them yourself and let them know that you're not weak and that you're strong the same way they are.
Show the bully that you are not going to let this bother you.
I think one of the effective ways to stand up for yourself is to show the bully that you're confident in who you are, and to let them know that whatever they're doing is not going to affect you. And a lot of times that discourages the bully, and they end up walking away.
If you think about what the bully wants, right? He wants a reaction from you. He wants to feel like he's winning, right? And the way that he gets that feeling is by you feeling small. You can in your own body language, you can read when someone's really letting it get to them, right? And so my advice to people who are getting bullied would be to try to just let it go. Try to not let that affect them. I mean, it's much easier said than done. He wants a reaction. If you don't give him that reaction, it's going to deter him.
Another strategy? Walk away from the bullying. You don't need to stand there and take it.
The power of walking away from a guy bullying you is, it shows me you don't care. Like, I'm not scared of you. I'm not gonna worry about you. I'm just gonna walk away. I don't want any conflict. And then you become the bigger person in the whole situation.
Here I just stayed away from that group of people. It was as simple as that, I just figured those weren't my friends.
Another thing you can do? Tell someone.
The best thing to do if you're being bullied is to find someone that can help you. Maybe you can talk to a friend, maybe you can talk to a parent or a teacher.
If you're scared about the situation, just get an adult you trust, tell them what's going on, and hopefully they'll help you out.
If you decide to go to a parent, a teacher, or a trusted adult, you might think of it as snitching. But it's not snitching. It's standing up for yourself.
Thinking back to my own personal bullying experience, I wish I would have gone and told the teacher, because it's not snitching. It's standing up for yourself and standing up for what is right.
It's not tattletale if people are bothering you. There's nothing wrong with telling somebody else, that you're going through something and something that you shouldn't be going through.
If you are getting bullied, it can really help to tell your friends.
Just find a safe haven, a group of friends that think like you, that are into things you're into, and hang out with them.
If you put yourself around good people and around friends, I mean, there's nothing that bullies really can do.
Keep this in mind. Just because you're getting bullied doesn't mean you should change who you are.
I think the worst thing is to change yourself or change how you act or go down a road that you don't believe in for the sake of others and to fit in.
So I was bullied, and at the time I thought that there was something wrong with me, that I needed to pretend like I was cool, pretend like I was into certain music or certain actors, when in reality I wasn't interested in that. And looking back on that experience now, I wish I would have known that it's okay. That is who you are, and you shouldn't be ashamed or try to hide those interests just to fit in with other people.
Things change, and it won't be like this forever.
I think the most positive thing is always staying grounded and always remembering who you are, and focus on the positive, because when you get older, people mature more, and eventually bullying goes away, and eventually there's no such thing as bullying because you're confident, you're comfortable with yourself.
And obviously, if you're getting bullied, just know that it'll get better. And I don't know the time period, but I think you'll be all right, and your life will continue. Yeah, your life will get better.
So things will get better. But you don't have to wait, and you shouldn't. If you are getting bullied, make sure you do something now to stop the bullying and make things better.
If you're being bullied, I think it's really important to know that you have options. Whether you talk to an authority figure, your parent, a teacher, you confide in a friend, you confront the bully yourself, or you get up and walk away. You just have to know that don't sit there and take it. You have options, and make sure you use them.
So you have options, specific things that you can do to help make the bullying stop. And the bullying needs to stop, because no one deserves to get bullied.
Let's talk about the bystanders. When kids get bullied, other kids are usually watching.
If you find yourself as the bystander, you shouldn't join in the bullying. If you do that, you are just being a bully yourself.
Another possible response is to laugh, out of nervousness or for whatever the reason. But by laughing, you are actually making things worse. Why? Because you are providing the audience that convinces the bully to keep on bullying.
Being a bystander while bullying is going on is a pretty awkward situation, and a lot of times kids don't know how to deal with it, so they start laughing, and really kind of eggs the bullying on, and it shows the bully that no one's going to step in, and it makes them do it even more.
Like, I would laugh along, just because I didn't want the bullier to come back onto me. And looking back, that was a bad decision, because when you laugh along, when you play along with what the bully's saying, when you encourage him or her to make those statements and make those hurtful comments, it encourages the bully to keep going.
Your instinct might be just to stand there and do nothing, because you think, it's none of my business. You fear getting hurt or getting picked on yourself, or you simply don't know what to do. But doing nothing doesn't help either.
When you're watching someone get bullied, you're just as bad as the bully themselves, because you're not doing anything about it. You're standing behind the bully. You're basically not saying anything, so the person who is being bullied is all alone and by themselves.
So joining in, encouraging, laughing, watching, doing nothing, all of that hurts the situation and hurts the person getting bullied. As a bystander, how can you help rather than hurt? How can you be a good teammate?
First, if you feel safe, you can directly intervene and take a stand against bullying, and you can do so in a variety of ways. You can tell the bully to stop, saying things like, "Stop teasing, don't fight, Leave him alone, and it's not funny.
If it's a safe situation and you feel that you want to go in there and help the bullying and stop it, just get in there real passively and just, hey, you know, can you just leave him alone? Just leave him alone. Don't be physical. Don't be mean. Don't shout. Just ask him nicely. Can you leave him alone? Stop bullying him. And, you know, maybe it'll help. Maybe it'll get to the bully like, you know, I don't have to do this.
A lot of times if someone's being bullied, they may not have the confidence to stand up. So they need someone else who is watching this, you know, terrible thing happen to step in and do something right. And you don't have to be mean to the bully. You don't have to make some big scene, but all you have to say is, that's not okay. You should stop that right now.
You can discourage the bully by expressing your disapproval.
You know, even if you're someone witnessing it and you don't know them, it's still your job to make them know that it's not okay.
It only takes one person to really stop bullying. Even if you're, you know, it's a group of people, you know, bullying one person, you can step in and say, hey, it's not the right thing to do. This is wrong.
You can defend the kid getting bullied.
Sometimes if somebody's just bothering a kid that I knew verbally couldn't stick up for himself or whatever, I would stick up for him. But if I seen some kid getting physically picked on, I mean, I would step in, or my friends would step in and, you know, stop it.
I know it was like maybe fifth grade. The kid was going to ponytail, and he was in one of the desks in the front, and someone behind him was always like pulling the ponytail over and over in class. And I was sitting next to him, and I could tell he was a very quiet kid, but you could tell it just annoyed him over and over and over again. So one day I was just like, hey, I usually didn't talk in class a lot, so I turned around and I was like, hey, what are you doing? Like really loud so everybody could hear. And I was like, why are you bothering him?
You can create a distraction, change the subject, or find other ways to keep the peace.
My sort of method was to try and distract the bully or distract what was going on and kind of change what was happening. Like, oh, guys, like, let's go do this, or, oh, whatever, like, let's talk about this.
And I specifically remember a couple times, like, hey, you know, relax, get off his back, and, you know, give him time to, you know, regroup and cool off. And, you know, a lot of times it just takes someone to step in and the bullying stops.
When you directly intervene as a bystander in any of these ways, you are showing who has the real power. You.
When you use that power to intervene and help, it can mean so much to the kid who's getting bullied.
You know, to be there for someone and to stand up for someone and to make them feel good, even complimenting someone and saying that you like their new haircut or you like their shirt. You know, it's the little things that make a really, really big difference that you don't know could be the difference between them having, you know, the best day ever or the worst day.
You can never be it wrong for standing up for somebody. I mean, that's how some friends are created. Lifelong friendships are created.
You know, I also had a situation where kids stuck up for me, you know, and you eventually appreciate that, and you never forget those moments. I mean, it was great, of course. Clearly I needed help, you know, so it was like, woo, someone to the rescue.
And when you do directly intervene as a bystander, it can really help.
Yeah, when someone steps in to stop bullying, I think right away it's you know, pretty successful. You know, most of the time the bully you know, gets a little bit discouraged, and they kind of take a step back and they're like, wow, you know, what I'm doing isn't right.
They're definitely not expecting someone, you know, a third party to come in and call them out, right? And so situations like that, I think, could lead the bullier away from doing that. You know, when he's sort of now he's like, oh wow, like I'm really just kind of being a jerk right now. I don't need to be doing this. So that hopefully that's where you know, bystanders can come in and really make a difference.
If you don't feel comfortable directly intervening, there are other ways you can help. You can always get help from a trusted adult.
Yeah, well, a lot of times, you know, when bullying's happening, you know, it's tough to step in yourself. You might be a little bit nervous, and that the bully might, you know, switch its target. And so, one of the things you can do is go to a parent or a teacher or someone of authority to help stop the bullying.
And if you witness bullying and you don't want to do anything, if you're too nervous or scared, just go get an adult and just let them handle it, and you know, they'll stop the bullying and they'll help the kid that's getting bullied.
Showing friendship and support to the kid getting bullied, it can mean a lot, and it really helps.
And maybe put your arm around their back and let them know that, you know, you don't deserve that, and don't worry about what he or she said. And
I'm not saying you have to hang out with them all the time, but just know that you talk to them sometimes. I mean, you see them at school, you say hey to them. You know, if you're in class together, you talk to them. You may do group work together. Something. Little things go a long way when people are being bullied.
I know there were times for older kids to make fun of me and stuff like that. I still remember the kids that would come pat me on my shoulder and say it's all good. And when they see me nowadays, it's like, I remember their face just for how they, treated me and how nice they were to me.
You can also walk away. By walking away, you are taking away the audience that the bully wants and needs. And if you can follow that up by getting help or supporting the kid getting bullied, that's even better. But just walking away helps too.
Guys that are witnessing bullying, just walk away. There's nothing to see. You're just gonna excite the kid that's bullying the other kid and just, bring a big roar and just, kind of a show for the bully. Just walk away and, hopefully the bullying will stop.
You need to step away. You need to not give the bully the entertainment that they want, because that's what they're looking for. They're looking to somehow secure themselves with friends and laughter.
The important thing as a bystander is to do something to help. Tell the bully to stop, show your disapproval, defend the kid getting bullied, or distract the bully. Or get help from a trusted adult. Or show friendship and support for the kid getting bullied. Or just walk away. Make sure you do something. Remember, as a bystander, it's you and not the bully who has the real power.
Bullies think that they're the ones with all the power and that everyone wants to be them, everyone wants to be their friend, everyone wants to follow them, but that's not true. When the bullying's going on and someone steps in, someone goes to a teacher, a guidance counselor, whatever it may be, those are the people with the real power because they're creating change.
You have the responsibility to use that power to help. And you have options, specific ways you can use that power depending on the circumstances.
So it's important to think about what you will do as a bystander, right now, in advance, before you find yourself caught up in a bullying situation. As a bystander, how can you be a good teammate and help use your power to stop the bullying? Think ahead.
Bullying comes in different forms: physical bullying, verbal bullying, relational bullying. There's one form of bullying that has become extremely common and can be especially dangerous: cyberbullying.
It's tough. That's one of those things that a lot of kids are dealing with right now with, someone calling them out online.
Cyberbullying involves sending or posting hurtful, embarrassing, or threatening text messages or images using the internet, cell phones, smartphones, and other digital communication devices.
Kids use cyberbullying to hurt others and damage their reputations. In many ways, it's the worst type of bullying.
And that can end up being even worse than other face-to-face encounters where it's said, it's done, and then it's sort of over with, right? It's not like someone's filming this and then replaying it, right? But when it's online, it can sort of be replayed and then, again, get worse and worse.
It's not, me and a bully and my friend in the playground or in the classroom. Now you go home and you can't escape it. If someone decides to bully you, they can email you, they can Facebook you, they can, follow you on Twitter.
Cyberbullies can reach a lot of people, fast.
And once they say something, it's out there forever, and the audience of the cyberbullying is huge, and it reaches out to so many different people.
Whether you're receiving horrible text messages or you're seeing a Snapchat that you didn't want to see or something on the internet you didn't want to see, it's literally happening everywhere.
Since kids who are cyberbullying are not operating face-to-face, they are more likely to say and do things that they would never say or do in person.
Cyberbullying is horrible. You're hiding behind your computer screen and trying to make someone else's day bad.
It's some of the worst bullying out there because people think that they can hide behind a computer or a phone or a Twitter.
If you are cyberbullying, recognize that it is really a cowardly act, and recognize that you need to stop.
Anytime you hide behind a keyboard, you're corny, and there's nothing cool about it. Because you're not even doing it to somebody's face. Like, you're just a coward. Like, you're just typing something in from the comfort of your couch because you're bored or your day is going bad or whatever else. Like, you have to really be down on yourself to try to make somebody else feel bad via social networking.
By cyberbullying, you are not only acting like a coward, you are also creating enormous damage. Damage not just to others, but also to yourself. Once you put something out there, it will be hard to take back and hard to make right.
So it's gonna be there forever. Once you put it up, someone can take a screenshot and even if you take it down, someone's already seen it. So they'll just pass it on and it just spreads and everybody can see it. And I always just make sure that if I'm gonna say something, just think about how it could affect my family or my parents, my friends, the organization I work for. So it's always smart. You gotta think twice before pressing send.
If you are getting cyberbullied, you can learn how to stand up, respond, and protect yourself against cyberbullying.
Don't share sensitive or personal information online. It could lead to cyberbullying.
You have to be careful what you put out on the internet, what you put out on your phone, what you put out on something like Snapchat, because everyone can see it. Nowadays, everyone can see everything that you do, and that's the way that you have to think about it, that everyone is going to see what you just posted or what you commented.
If you are getting cyberbullied, you can get help from your parents and other trusted adults.
I think when cyberbullying is happening, I think you gotta show, if you're younger, you gotta show your parents there's proof and evidence that you can take to somebody who's older who can maybe help you do something about it.
And I think that if you happen to be a victim of cyberbullying, that's when you really need to tell your parents immediately, and they can help with that situation. And because it's much more intense when it's online, you really have to make sure that you're telling someone, you're telling your friends, you're standing up for yourself, so this can stop as soon as possible.
You can try to ignore it and not let it bother you. Technology can help.
You know, there are plenty of locks on your phone and on your computer that you can use. You can defriend people now. You don't have to be friends with everybody. There are a lot of avenues to get out of being influenced by bullying on the internet.
You might even consider taking a break from social media.
I think that's, probably one of the most effective ways to get the bullier to stop, because his bullying doesn't do anything to you. You're not affected by it because you're not on social media.
It's always good to not be on social media and go outside and play with a soccer ball outside or do something active. So I think it's sometimes you gotta step away from all the social media stuff and take time to yourself.
Finally, as with traditional bullying, cyberbullying involves bystanders.
It is the bystander who has the real power to make the cyberbullying stop. If you are a bystander witnessing cyberbullying, you can help by speaking out and giving support to the victim.
But I also do have a good amount of faith in people, where in these cyberbullying situations, it sort of gives a ton of bystanders a chance to chip in.
I mean, a lot of times with social media, Facebook, Twitter, you can see if your friends are being bullied. So if you see that, stand up for them. Don't be silent in the process. Help your friend out.
Bottom line, cyberbullying, like other forms of bullying, isn't acceptable and needs to stop. Bullying is a serious matter with serious consequences.
And it needs to stop.
Not next week or next month or next year.
But right now.
There's no I in team. You have to work together. You have to love each other. You have to be there for each other.
You just treat others like you want to be treated. Basically, you know how easy it sounds, but it's really simple. Just treat others like you want to be treated. And if you're seeing this happen, just step in and say, hey, this is not right.
What you have to realize is that you're not alone in this. We're all together. And as soon as we can stand together and really take care of this problem, the better off we'll all be.
That's got to stop. Everybody's lives matter, and I feel like we all should work together, and there's nobody's better than anybody else.
Come join us as we stand strong against bullying.
Boston versus bullies.
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 We want you on our team.
Boston versus bullies. Let's win this one together.